The longest match so far in the World Cup, more or less, you could say this match lasted about 6 hours. It went on forever. It went on forever. A routine match for France with Kylian Mbappé making his 100th appearance, scoring 16 goals in 16 World Cup matches. A historic milestone for Kylian Mbappé in this new World Cup analysis. Welcome. Let's get started. Well, it was a routine match for the French. Honestly, they're a powerhouse. They showed everything they had, both the French team and Kylian Mbappé. With Messi scoring a goal, Kylian Mbappé couldn't be left behind. He also scored a brace, reaching 16 goals and becoming the player to score 16 goals in 16 matches. He's the first one to do it. Kylian Mbappé also wants to make history in World Cup history. He caught up with Miroslav Klose as the scorer, the historic one. The top scorer is Lionel Messi. As the historic top scorer, he matched him with 16 goals and is now 2 behind Lionel Messi. That achievement is going to be contested in this World Cup. So it's going to be really great. Really great. Speaking specifically about the match, it was a game with a lot of rain. A match that was stopped, especially at halftime, because there was a warning for a thunderstorm. So under FIFA and US protocols, the match was stopped. It was paused for about 2 hours and 10 minutes. There was a stoppage, and then in the second half, it was a one-sided display by France, who dominated against a team that, while they have a good collective squad, doesn't have great individual talents. Something that France does have. France has Olis, France has Mbappé, France has a lot of players. So let's go to the board. This is how both teams took the field. 4-2-3-1. Deschamps' team took the field with Manu Koné, who is a pleasant surprise today. Manu Koné will analyze him on the board. Barcola and Ousmane Dembélé on the wings, with Mbappé up front. Graham Arnold's team came out in a 4-5-1 formation, very defensive. They couldn't do much, created a few chances here and there. I counted, if I'm not mistaken, 3, maybe 4 chances. They didn't create much, but they did in the first half. And that should be highlighted, especially in the first half. After the first goal, the team was very compact, very defensive. They closed down the spaces well and became very tough in the midfield. Let's move on to the tactics. The man of the match. The man who pulled all the strings. Mr. Michael Olis. He plays for Bayern Munich, but under Deschamps, he's showing his full potential. And that's because he moves all across the front line behind Kylian Mbappé. Linking play. What do you mean by connection? He distributes the play. And not only does he distribute the play, but he also moves through those areas behind Mbappé. He's the one who creates the game. Also, Mbappé, who is constantly moving, who is always moving across the front line, looking for space, and especially against such a solid defense like Iraq's. Kylian Mbappé is trying to find that space, that opening. But above all, it's worth highlighting Michael Olis and also Manu Koné. Mbappé was very solid throughout this area, collaborating and being the perfect partner for Adrien Rabiot. Manu Koné cut off all the passing lanes, recovered many balls here in the middle of the field, and was the player who helped with the French team's build-up. On the flanks, Dembélé performed well, and Barcola. I couldn't find that player on the right side. Here is Dembélé. He was on the left wing, and Barcola, who was replaced by Dohue. Cherki also came in for a while for Michael Olis, but they still haven't found that player on the right wing. I think Barcola didn't perform all that well today. And well, France qualifies then, also waiting to see what happens between Norway and Senegal. But they advance directly to the round of 16 and will fight for first place against Norway. But it was a good match for France, with a very good team performance overall, and above all, finding solutions on defense, which was one of the things they were criticized for in the first match against Senegal, where they were out of sync. Maybe France hasn't shown their best version yet, but without a doubt, it was a good match. I would say it was routine because honestly, they didn't really struggle much. They didn't suffer much in the match against Iraq, and it wasn't hard for them to defend either. Your opinion is always the most important, so I'll be reading your comments down below. How far do you think this team will go? Is France a serious contender to win the World Cup? Will Mbappe surpass Messi? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all again very soon. You all stay tuned to Falso 9 TV Nick Precol because we're broadcasting every single match. See you.